Hi friends, today on Tabletop Tonight, I'm going to be sharing my top 10 games you can find at Target. So I picked this topic because when you see this video and hear this on the podcast and everywhere else on the interwebs, it's going to be Black Friday. And this is the big shopping day and weekend for all of us here in the US. And what better place to find a game than your friendly local Target? We're going to start things off with number 10, CATAN. And this has been at Target a lot longer than all the other games. Basically, it was the first strategy game or, hobby game that was at Target. Back in the day, they had, Risk, Monopoly, Yahtzee, those type, the standard classic games. But they started bringing in games, and Catan was the one that sort of broke through. Just like Catan, back in 1995, that was the big breakthrough for modern games. It is now considered like one of the big gateway games. And the version I'm playing here in the video, I played Catan Junior. And for my money, now I love Catan, but I think I love Catan Junior more, and here's why. It's more of like a filler. It gives you the flavor of Catan, but in like 20 to 30 minutes. It's a lot quicker. It is geared towards a younger crowd, so it doesn't have like, as much, I would say, depth, I guess, as the original game. But it still has the flavor of it. You're rolling die. It's a pirate theme, which I think is actually a really fun theme. And you are gathering resources and trading. You do have to get roads together, but it's not as complex. As you can see, it's a lot smaller board. Definitely the one to get for younger or new gamers. And I've played it as like a filler. I mean, it's a fun game, but at Target, you can find Catan and Catan Junior there, which I think is really cool. Now, Target, again, just to reiterate, why did I choose Target? Well, a lot of us don't have a friendly local gaming store, but we do have a Target in town, and Target these days has a lot of excellent games, Catan being the first of 10 of them that I'm going to be talking about today. Let's move on to my next one. The next game is number 9, MonsDRAWsity, and wow, this game is so good. I like drawing games, and this one, stuff like Telestrations or even the classic Pictionary are always fun, but MonsDRAWsity by Eric Slauson really, I think, elevates the genre. You are looking at these, you're looking at monsters, right? So you're like part of a detective team. You're trying to figure out, okay, who done it? Who's the monster? Let's get some eyewitnesses. And you're basically a police sketch artist. And everyone looks at this card for 30 seconds or whatever, and then they're going to give you clues. Oh, by the way, this is these are our friends Kavre, Ilya, and Tyler who did this video. They have basically what you're doing is listening to the witnesses, and someone's drawing it, and it's so funny because people are saying, "Oh, it's like this big monster with 5 legs and 3 eyes," and just what you end up drawing is hilarious. And you just do this over several rounds, and you're gonna get points based on certain different things. Like other games like Telestrations, it's not about who's winning, but just how much laughter and how much joy it's bringing to you. I've always had a great time with this, and this is a one that we played with our family. And actually, one of the first games we did when we started live stream together with Michelle, my wife, and our daughter Lauren. We played this with the audience, and it was so much fun. We would just, show the cards, and then they'd tell us what to draw. So funny. And I love drawing games when you can't draw like myself, because just some of the things that people come up with are hilarious. So this is one that you can find at Target. And I'm pointing this one at Target because they actually have a new version exclusive to Target that has new cards and new clues and stuff. So you can get MonsDRAWsity from Deepwater Games, but you can also get the Target exclusive on at Target exclusive at Target. So that's MonsDRAWsity. Excellent drawing game, excellent game for parties and families. Thank you, Ilya and Tyler. Let's move on to my number 8, Villainous. Now this you can find literally almost anywhere. And here I got to play this a couple of years ago with Monique and Naveen from Before You Play. This is actually the Marvel edition, and so they have many different versions of Villainous. They have the original, which is Disney, and you're basically playing as the baddies, and the goodies are trying to upset, do away with your dastardly deeds. But it's a lot of fun, and they're very thematic. They've got a really cool theme, and what's surprising to me is how not complicated, but it's a lot more complex than you expected. Like, you just figure, okay, they got the cool Disney art, or in this case the Marvel art, looks fun. I'm sure it's just, you know, super easy, and it's just, you know, for fans of the genre or whatever, or the IP. No, it's a really good game. There's a lot of take that. I got to mention that there is take that, but just the way you're managing your cards and trying to, everyone's got like asymmetrical abilities and different win conditions. I love that. Now, would I use it as a gateway game? For the themes, yes. Because if I know someone's excited about Disney or Marvel or the new one, Star Wars, I would definitely, you know, use that to get them into, you know, try this game. But I would, you know, make sure that I knew the rules inside and out, and make sure that, you know, explain it slowly if they're new to games, because these games can take a little while to like really catch on, because it's not your typical, hey, just roll a die and move. No, this is really a lot more involved. There's a lot more strategy, but they're easy enough to explain. Just, you know, you do want to give new players a little time to sort of digest the rules and figure out and realize that, hey, my win condition's not necessarily the same as yours, and we may be using the resources and cards differently. The fate cards are always fun. Those are the ones that you play on other cards that take that. Excellent game, and you can find it at Target. And that's number 8, Villainous. Moving right along, number 7 is the Golden Ticket game. Oh boy, Michelle and I were so excited about this one. This is a game based on Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory. You know, the classic, for me, the classic one is Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka and all the kids. And it's got a little bit, it's a set collection game. It's got a little bit of Istanbul to it, where you're moving along the tiles trying to collect, you know, money to get more candy bars. And those are all the little candy bars. This, on the right side of the screen, you can see the little Wonka bars. And depending on the player count, there may be 1 or 2 golden tickets and like dozens of these things. And what you're trying to do is move around the different tiles. You're going to use your special abilities to get more Wonka bars. And as you get those Wonka bars, once the game end triggers, everyone's got a pile of Wonka bars, and you're going to just go one at a time, opening them up. It's one of the coolest endings for a game ever. You're literally opening up candy bars, and then one of you, there's a thrill to it. It's like, you know, if you play well, I mean, yes, it is sort of random, but at the same time, if you play well, you're going to increase your odds by getting more Wonka bars throughout the game. You know, if you're able to be efficient, go to one space and get, like, say, 3 candy bars, go to another, get a few more. Oh, and then everyone's going to have a pile of Wonka bars. And maybe they don't. Maybe they didn't play well, but you still have that chance. You never know. And just the thrill of finding that golden ticket. Oh, my gosh. Michelle and I, seriously, every time we played, though, whoever's won has like shouted, like, I got it. It's just like the movie, just like the book. We love it. It's just a wonderful recreation of that excitement, that anticipation. So if you like Willy Wonka, highly recommend this. That is the Golden Ticket game. That's from Buffalo Games. And let's move on to number 6. This is Blokus. Now, this has been around at Target for a while. They had this, I think, probably before like the modern board game boom, where, you know, a lot more hobby games got into Target. But this one, it's a classic. It's an abstract. And what's great is it's really easy to get to the table. It's so simple, and people really gravitate towards, like, hey, it looks like Tetris. It looks like it, but it doesn't play like it. Everyone has a different color, and you place tiles down, and the rule is when it's your color, you can only place it corner to corner. Cannot place it adjacent. But if it happens to be side to side with a different player color, that's fine. And what you're trying to do, you're just trying to get rid of all your pieces. Eventually, the board's going to fill up. It looks really cool. It's always, you can always find it for under $20. I think retail might be $19.99. It's fantastic, and it's one of those games. You bring it, it takes 2 minutes to teach, and you know you often see that people are going to be, you know, sitting there playing it for a while at your holiday parties. It's a lot of fun. Michelle and I love it, and I think you would too. And that is my number 6, Blokus. All right, let's move on. Number 5, top 5. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Here's Rahdo's preview of it. I'm going to be honest with you folks. I have not played Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion yet. I have played the original Gloomhaven, and Jaws of the Lion makes it on the list because it takes Gloomhaven and makes it more digestible, more accessible to someone that would be shopping at Target, not necessarily for board games, but hey, here's something that looks pretty cool. And then the way they teach it, they're gonna, again, I've only watched videos of it, but it makes it so much more accessible. They don't throw a bunch of stuff at you. It's not a big intimidating box that you could fit like, a small child in, but it's a manageable box. And I love that they did this with the spiral bound notebook for the board. You're gonna place your pieces there. You go through the different scenarios. I'm gonna buy this next time. Honestly, I'm gonna buy it the next time I go to Target and see it on sale. Again, look for that clearance section, folks. Sometimes you may find games for pretty decent prices there, really good prices. Gloomhaven, it takes everything you love about Gloomhaven and makes it more digestible. It's a lot faster playing. And again, you're not going to get years of content, but that's not the point. This is the point. The point of this is to introduce you to the system a little more slowly and a lot easier a way to learn it. And then as you do, it's like, if you like this type of game, hey, we've got the big old original Gloomhaven that you can buy for a lot more money, spend a lot more time, but it's going to give you even more of an experience that you get with Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Again, I believe this is still a Target exclusive. That's what it was originally. It may be out in the wild now, but oh man, yeah, it's got so much hype when it was released back in 2020. Next up, number 4, Trails. Yay, yay, yay. I'm a big fan of Keymaster games. I love Parks by Henry Audubon, and he did this one as well. This is a streamlined edition of Parks called Trails. You're walking up and down these trails out in the great outdoors, trying to collect different sets of items and turn those in for badges. I love how they took Parks and made it into a 15 to 20 minute game. Now, it is lighter in all aspects, but here's the thing. Some people actually prefer Trails to Parks because it's less setup. It captures all the feeling of Parks. Now, I agree with that to an extent. I like Parks with one of the expansions. I forget which one, but that expansion really, gives you a lot more depth to the original Parks. But if I want Parks, the feel of it in 20 minutes, Trails is a really great substitute, and I think it's a wonderful filler, a quick game that you can play. I'm still trying to, I don't know, the term filler, I don't mind it, and I use it because everyone understands what I'm talking about, but I like filler games. I don't think they need to be, just mindless 20-minute activities. No, this one, there's thought behind this game. You're going to decide how far do you move, what resources you want to take, what badge you're trying to do. Great game. Especially with 2 players, it's wonderful. Michelle and I really enjoy this. We played it up to 4 with our friends Daryl and Abby. Always enjoy this game, and you can find it at Target, folks. This may be another exclusive. I'm not sure, but it has been out for a while. It's been out since last year. That's Trails from Keymaster Games and Henry Audubon. Okay, moving right along. Let's go to our top 3 now. Number 3, Raiders of the North Sea. And what you're watching right, this is the Viking edition we're talking about. This is another Target exclusive. What they did for the Viking edition, basically, I think they took the wooden pieces and made them cardboard. So it's a little, it's going to be not as nice as the wood bits, but again, more price-wise, it's a little more feasible for Target to be doing that. Here, I am playing this with my friends Gary, Irene, and Victor over there at Renegade. This was a couple of years ago. We had started a big campaign, like a big tournament-style campaign, I believe, with all the Raiders of the North Sea and all the expansions and stuff. Unfortunately, right when we started, this was like the last time I streamed in person at Renegade Game Studios in the studio. Literally the next week, everything shut down because of the pandemic. So, shout out to Victor, Gary, and Irene. Miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. That was a lot of fun. And Raiders of the North Sea, it is a worker placement game that is absolutely fantastic. Shem Phillips does it. If you know Shem Phillips' designs, he always does some really unique things with workers. And in this case, what you do is place a worker in a spot, and you're going to take a worker off. And it's really cool because you're going to be able to do the actions you want, but not always in the order you want. And sometimes players, you never get blocked, but you just don't get to do it. I find that so fascinating. And Shem Phillips has always done that throughout the North Sea series, throughout the West Kingdom series. Just really great worker placement games. Art by the Miko or Micho. Wonderful, wonderful game all around. Michelle and I really enjoyed this one. I was really surprised, honestly, when Michelle took to this game. Because I know the Raiders theme is not really her jam, but she loved the gameplay, and I do too. You start sort of like in the lower part of the board. Eventually, you get enough resources to gather your troops, go up to the villages, and go get resources, more resources to turn into gold and stuff, get more points. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I love it. I think it's a wonderful gateway, a little step up from gateway for worker placement games. I always play it with one of the expansions. I forget if it's Field of Fame or Hall of Heroes. It might be the Hall, where they add a bottom part of the board to give you more options. Highly recommend. Even the base game, it's excellent. And yeah, I didn't even know this was at Target. I looked, I was looking at games at Target. I was looking at my local. So the way I did this, I was looking at games at my local Target. And I figure if it's at my local Target, it may be at yours. So again, your mileage may vary, but I would definitely recommend Raiders of the North Sea. Again, the Viking edition. Okay, top 2. Let's get on to number 2. It is Lost Ruins of Arnak. And Arnak or Arnak. I've been saying it both. But this board is huge. I put it sideways to play. This was a solo game. Another worker placement game. If y'all don't know, I love worker placement games. And this one is one of the best. It has got that sort of Indiana Jones adventure theme, right? You're going around looking for ruins and, maybe problematic about the whole, this belongs to a museum. No, I like to think when I'm playing, I'm finding these relics, I'm bringing them back to the people. So you have a couple of different tracks to deal with. I think it's called the science track. And what's really cool is the cards and stuff that you buy, the spots you go to, you can buy cards into your hand, and that the deck building this is interesting because the cards you add are gonna go to you're going to be able to draw those your very next turn. It doesn't just go into your discard. And some of the cards you buy, you can use them immediately. I really like that. Couple of resources you got to take, manage and to get to the different sites to dig. And it plays well solo. Okay, here's a confession. Confession time, friends. I have not played this multiplayer. I've only played this solo. I love it as a solo game. And my buddy Daryl's been giving me grief. He's like, dude, you got to play it multiplayer. And I'm like, well, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, now that we're out of it, I guess I should play it multiplayer, but I love it solo. And as I'm talking about this, I have played it multiplayer. What am I talking? I played it online. I've gotten crushed by my friend Razor. We played 2 players. She's like an expert at it. We had a great time though. And I will, it's on a Board Game Arena. That's one way you can play games with friends, folks, digitally or Sovereignty or Tabletopia and stuff like that. But Lost Ruins of Arnak, highly recommend. Worker placement game. Definitely one of the heavier strategy games that you'll find at Target, and I'm all for it. I love seeing this at Target. And my number one game that you can find at Target is Azul. So not quite as heavy as Lost Ruins of Arnak or Raiders of the North Sea, but this is a Build a Yard winner, folks. This was all the rage a couple of years ago, back in 2000. And I'm showing you my notes right there. Whoops, you're not supposed to see it. Well, at least we're at the end of the list. So I was looking for when it was made. I should have just looked at this screen here. It says 2017. I cannot rave about this game enough. It's one that I played with friends and family who aren't into games, and they enjoy it. And that's what I'm all about. I love introducing games. I like to call myself a board game evangelist. I want more people to play board games. This is one of the ones that are almost always in my bag whenever I go out. You're drawing tiles, take one of the same color, or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, from the factories on the outside there. Take a color, you're going to slot it in there. At the end of the round, after all the tiles are gone, you're going to slide those back over and score points based on, you slide it over, they're adjacent. And then eventually you're going to connect horizontally and vertically. You get more points. If you can collect a set of all 5 the same color, you get even more points. If you drop them down on the bottom there, if you have not enough space to place them, you're going to drop down and lose points. It's one of the best abstract games out there. Easily a top 5 abstract. And I may have to do an abstract list because I love abstract games. Michelle and I introduced this to her and she immediately fell in love with it. We played it 2, 3, 4. There's also a solo variant as well. We've done that on my Discord channel. Have we done? I don't remember if we've done it on my Discord channel, but I have streamed it live. I have done an Azul live stream, and I believe we have done a solo challenge. You can find a link to our Discord in the show notes below, folks. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, by the way. And you can play it solo. It's really easy, manageable game to solo, but if you're looking at a bargain at Target, this is it. This is an award winner for a reason. It's an evergreen title. It will always be around. It's wonderful. And that's why it's my number 1, Azul. Okay, and that's my top 10 games at Target, folks. Drop a comment in the comments below. Let me know what bargains or what games you found at Target, which ones you like. And also hit the like and subscribe button. And I will see you next week for another top 10 games. We're going to figure out a topic over the next few days. This time it was Target. Go to your local Target, but also support your friendly local game store. And I'll see you next time. Bye.